Well, a very warm welcome and sunny good evening to you all. I hope you're having a lovely evening. I know we are. I'm Jack, and my co-host is.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dan.
That's exactly it.
That's
My
not
co-host is my
my
co-host's full name
co-host.
is.
Is hello, everybody. I'm Dan.
Oh, you're a little bit loud. Let me turn you down. Anyway,
I can never do these intros, can I? I always get them wrong.
I mean, it's an intro. It's the only the start of the session. It's not really that important,
That's true.
unfortunately. No, I know. However, what is important is next week we have a different schedule. Next week there will be no Technolive on Tuesday. No, we are switching to Thursday just for a little bit. Just while things are a little bit busy in the background. But next week, the week beginning 10th of May, will go JavaScript with me on Monday for the Techno Club. Nothing on the Tuesday, so not our usual slot. On Wednesday, Dan will be covering items and characters in Python. And Thursday, we will have a replacement stream all about Game Fruit. And Dan, it's your 1 year anniversary of doing these streams.
It is. So this is very exciting. So we're just going to be revisiting the live stream from the first live stream that I ever did last year. So for anybody who's watching who was there, shout out to all of you, and we'll be going back to doing basically what we did a year ago.
Yeah,
Uh,
and if you've
so
been watching for a whole year, you get some imaginary brownie points or
yeah,
an imaginary medal or something.
yes, exactly.
And as always, Friday we'll be doing some fun, interesting projects. Nothing planned, but good stuff nonetheless. Anyway, that is next week. I will announce that again at the end. But instead, let's dive in straight into what we're doing today. Oh, actually, before that, remember you can see all our past live streams available over at bit.ly/technoclubs. And at that link, you can also see all the stuff we get up to in the club. So if you're not sure about whether you want to sign up for a club, you can kind of see what we do there. Yeah, let's dive in. As you may have seen in the title, we're doing a little bit of Minecraft, aren't we, Dan?
We are.
What is this contraption you see below us?
Well, it looks to me like some kind of, well, I would say it looks like some kind of train station.
Yeah, kind of. I worked on this a little bit today. It's a command block train station. So, train stations in Minecraft, there's millions of videos out there on YouTube of how to do one. Although I didn't really like them because, well, believe it or not, it's quite hard to stop a minecart.
Hmm.
Either you stop it with some unpowered rail. So you've actually powered rail. So if I've got some powered rail, see these are unpowered because they're not lit up. They don't have enough redstone energy. If I were to send a Minecraft along those, eventually, yeah, it will come to a stop. But if it's been going really fast, so even further, if it's been accelerating a lot, it takes a lot longer to stop. It doesn't stop in the right place. You can't be precise with where it lands.
Hmm.
And I didn't really like that. A couple of other ones on YouTube, what they'll do is they'll use hills as a way of stopping the minecart.
Oh yeah.
So they might have it go downhill and, stop. Or, go uphill and stop.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah, if I power those and I send one along, it should stop on the hill. Yeah, it
There it
stops
is.
like that. Well, I think these all work pretty well, but it's very hard to get a minecart started again.
Mm.
Like if I push it, oh, it still wants to stop. If I power it, it'll go that way, but it won't go the other way.
Mm.
If it's on the flat, so it's just stuck there. If I wanted to send this going, so if I gave it power, hang on, it's not going. Basically, what I'm getting at is it's very hard to stop a minecart and to start a minecart.
Trying to get it to start uphill looks a little bit like me trying to do a hill start in my car.
Exactly, yeah.
Just doesn't really move.
So I've come up with a little bit of a different system, and I'll go through how I did this in a bit. But the idea is, with this, you can set a minecart going. I've got a minecart with a hopper here. It goes along. It stops in the middle, and it gets permanently stopped. Then something drops from the dropper to fill it up. And then at the end, you got an item in the hopper. So you got a kind of like a filling station. The minecart stops in the middle, fills up, then carries on. I don't know. I was quite proud of that.
Yeah, that's excellent.
I'm sure there's hundreds of YouTubers and tutorials out there who've done much more impressive things, but I was quite pleased with what I got.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I thought we'd build this today, and if we got time at the end, maybe try and turn it into something a bit more.
Mm.
So, would you for giving me a hand with this?
Oh, absolutely.
I think it's best if we start over here.
Good idea.
Yeah, we'll need a rail or something to put rail on. So let's have a little look at the blocks. Let's pick
Would
something
you like to use
pretty.
pumpkins?
Can you put rail on a pumpkin?
Let's find out. Yes, you can.
Yeah, let's use pumpkins then.
Excellent.
Why not? Any block that you can put rail on, that will do. So yeah, if we just run a line, if you could make it 2 or 3, yeah, if you do
Blocks
another
wide.
line next to
Yeah.
it, just gives us a bit of space to work with. And I'm going to use powered rail for this, just because I can. Yeah, it's nice to get our rail doing its own thing. If you're in survival mode and powered rail's too expensive, you could always do powered rail, normal rail, powered rail, normal rail, powered rail, normal rail, and so on.
Excellent.
I'm just going to do powered rail all the way. It also needs power, so I'm going to give it a redstone torch at one end. And every time it stops getting power, I'm going to put another redstone torch down to boost it up a bit.
The redstone torches provide quite a lot of power right the way along, practically, though, don't they?
Yeah, I think it's 15 blocks, is it? 1,
Oh, right,
2,
okay.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, it's not 15 blocks. It's not that much at all, actually.
There we go.
Yeah, anyway, we've got our train station, almost our train, our line. Now, somewhere along here, we need to pick a place where we're going to have a station, a stopping point.
Mm.
So I'm going to pick, let's say, around here.
Yeah.
And we need to do a couple of things. First things first, what I would do is I would delete 3 of the powered rail and replace it with normal rail.
Mm-hmm.
Just to give us a bit of slow.
While you're up to that, Jack, I'm going to start. I'll start my own station alongside you there.
Oh, okay. Are we having a race?
Why not? Let's give it a go.
Okay. Oh yeah, the pressure's on now. I've lost myself. Yeah, so basically what we want to happen is we want the train to come along, and we want a system to somehow detect when the train is pulling into the station. So for that, I'm going to use a detector rail. Do I have any? Yeah, I've got some in my inventory. Detector rail just sends out a redstone signal when the minecart lands on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
And apart from that, it just acts like a normal bit of rail. Anything else? Oh yeah. So what we really want to happen is the minecart comes thundering down the track, hits the detector rail, and that sends a signal to some bit of circuitry that then blocks the minecart from going forward. Now, you could use a piston to do this, but I found that was very messy and very ugly, and it required lots of fiddling around to get the right position so that no redstone was interfering.
Mm-hmm.
So what I thought, what about we do something else? What about we do a little bit of command trickery? And that's exactly what I decided on. I thought, let's use a command block. So, in Minecraft, in the Bedrock and Education versions, I'm not sure about Java, but in the Bedrock and Education versions, there's a command called /fill. So if you open up the chat and type /fill, that's the start of a command that will put a block somewhere. That's all it does. And looking down here, at the bottom, we've got these two sort of handy guides here. So /fill from XYZ to XYZ. What this means is, where do you want the fill to go from? The one corner of the fill to the other corner of the fill. And the XYZ is the position. So if we want to fill any amount of space, we need to find out the position of one corner and the position of the other. Next, it's looking for the name of the block. And that could be, air, gravel, stone, cobblestone, anything like that. And then these next two here, the tile data and the old block handling, these two are optional. And you can tell they're optional because they've got square brackets rather than chevrons or
pointy brackets.
Pointy brackets, or less than symbol and greater than symbol brackets. So yeah, that's the command we're going to be using, and it's good to practice this before putting it in a command block. But basically, what we need to do is we need to find out the position of a we need to find out a position of the piece of rail that is one block away from the detector. So here's the detector. One block after it, we don't care about. But the block after that, we need to put in whatever's going to stop the minecart. And in this case, we're going to fill that. We're going to replace the rail with a solid block. Like stone bricks or emerald block or something like that. So we need to work out a fill command that will replace the rail here with a solid block. And we need to find the coordinates for that. Now, I've already switched coordinates on. In the Education Edition, you can go to Settings and you can switch Show Coordinates on. And then it shows it up in the top left like I've got there. If you're in a different version, I'm not sure whether you can do that, but in some versions of Minecraft, I know you can press F3 on the keyboard, and that opens all the debug data, and you can find out the positions there. But
Oh,
the
right.
positions are three numbers, and the first number, that is your X position. That shows you how, is it east or west you are? So as I go more west, I believe, the number goes down. As I go more east, the number goes up. The middle number is your height, so as I go higher, it goes up. As I go lower, it goes down. And the final one is how north and south you are. And that's your Z coordinate. X, Y, Z. But yeah, what you need to do is land on the block that you want replacing, the one that's one block away from the detector rail, and write down in a notebook next to you, or if you've got a very good memory. I certainly don't, so I'm going to be writing this down. Write down that number.
I took the approach of taking a photograph on my mobile phone.
Oh yeah, that's a good shout. So this position here is 2,675, 64, 355. Okay, I've got that written down and memorized. I tell a lie, I've not memorized it at all. I've just got it written down. Let's practice with the fill command first. We need to fill that block with some other block. So I'm going to step away a bit, just so we can get a good view. I'm going to open my chat window, and I'm going to type in /fill. Now, fill command fills from one corner to the other. If you were filling just one block, then the bottom corner is the same as the top corner. So let's do what do I mean by that? Well, the bottom corner, let's put in that corner that we just wrote down. 2,675 space 64 space 355. Okay, that's the first corner of the area I want to fill. Now we do the second corner. And this is only one block, so I don't actually need to put in some new value or find out some new value. I need to put in the same coordinate again. 2,675, 64, 355. And there it is. And it looks like a right mess. And this is why I much prefer the Java edition, because you can do things much neater there. But that's what we have to deal with in the Education and Bedrock edition. So, /fill, your first coordinate, and then that coordinate again. So you should have 6 numbers total. And they're all separated by one space. Next should come the block that you want to replace it with. And if you've done this right, as soon as you press space, it should list all the names of the blocks on the left.
Mm-hmm.
So this is only showing me some of them. It won't show me all of them, just because it's doing it in alphabetical order. But here I should type the name of the block I want to put there. So let's put in a gold block. Gold. Look, it's actually come up for me on the left. Gold_block. It's found the name for me automatically.
Strangely, mine is not actually displaying the names of the blocks as I type them in.
Ooh, just check you've got 6 numbers total.
I do. It's strange because it brings up the list of suggested blocks, like it does on the left, But then as soon as I start typing in the name of a block that I want, they all disappear.
Ooh, that's very interesting.
Let's see if it actually works.
Fingers crossed. Well,
Oh.
I'm going to test if mine works as well.
So it worked just fine.
I guess there's some differences on, the versions.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've got the 6 numbers, and I've got the name of the block I want. As soon as I press enter, we should see whether this worked or not. Oh,
There it is.
and it did. It replaced the rail with a block of gold. So that's good news. We're on the right lines.
We are.
Let's get it doing this automatically for us. So I'm going to actually delete that and put a piece of rail back. Now, in Minecraft, back in the old days, they added these things called command blocks. And command blocks are quite fun. All they do is they, run a command for you. And they'll run a command when you give it a redstone signal. So we're going to start with a command block that will block the, do exactly what we just did with the fill command. It'll put a gold block in the way. So yeah, how do we even get a command block? Because it's not in the inventory. If I were to open up the inventory and I were to look everywhere for it, I would never find it. It's not in there. I don't think it even shows up in search. Nope, can't find it. That's because command blocks are such an advanced extra block that the only way you can get them is using commands. So, to do that, first I need to make sure I've got space in my inventory. Or even better, space in my hotbar. Because at the moment my hotbar is full.
My hotbar is currently full of pumpkins. So...
the easiest way to clear a hotbar is to open the chat menu and type in /clear. And it'll clear your inventory for you. And if you're playing multiplayer and you're the admin of the server, the temptation to clear someone else's inventory is far too great. There you are, Dan.
Wow.
You've got no inventory left.
Removing 407 items. I had a cluttered inventory.
It's a good job you're in creative and not survival, because oh dear, I don't think you'd be too happy if I deleted all your armor. Anyway, yeah. So with my inventory cleared, you don't have to clear it. You could just make space in your hotbar. But what I'm going to do is open up the command window again. And I'm going to type in a new command. /give. The /give command makes the game give you an item. It also requires you to type in who you want to give it to. Well, I want to give it to myself. I'm JR. So I do /give my username, which is JR, /give JR, and then the name of what you want to give yourself. So if I were to type in /give JR bed, it would give me a bed. If I were to type in /give JR beehive, it would give me a beehive. I'm going to type in command _block /give JR command _block. And as soon as I press enter, I should see that now in my inventory I've got a command block. How's that worked for you, Dan?
It has.
Check again.
Wow. What is this?
Anyway.
Look at all of
that. Yeah, and you could really abuse that. Sorry. Yeah, so I've got this command block now, and I can place it down like any other block. But I only need one. Thanks for the cake. I only need one. actually, before we go ahead to placing it down, there's something important about the command blocks. They have a direction, and the direction is indicated by the way the arrows on the side point. So if I place it there, the arrows are pointing there. If I place it there, the arrows are pointing there. So if you're finding that yours isn't working, make sure you've got the command blocks pointing the same direction I do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a block out to give me some space to build. Let's do block of iron to contrast the pumpkin. Why pumpkins, Dan?
I don't know. They were in my inventory from the maze.
Oh
that
yeah,
we did
from
the
the
other
last
week.
one we did when we were
Yeah,
generating
so
mazes.
it was just a spur of the moment thing.
I'm gonna give myself a little platform out the side of the track. This will actually be our platform. Get it?
Oh,
You know, train station, train platform.
oh dear.
Oh, anyway. What we want to happen is we want it that when the minecart hits this detector rail, it will send power to a command block. So let's do the sending power part. We're going to rely on our trusty old friend redstone, which acts like electricity in Minecraft. So get yourself some redstone dust. And I'm going to pop in a couple, maybe 3 long. Yeah, 3 long will do it. And at the end of that redstone trail, I'm going to put down a command block. But I'm going to try and get it so that the arrows are pointing away from the platform. Like that. So if I'm standing on the platform and I look towards a command block, the arrows are pointing away from me. Okay. This one here is going to be what? Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
What's happened?
I completely lost control of the game then.
Oh, I see.
I think I must have pressed C by accident. Oh yeah, I did, because it's spawned my agent.
Yes.
Let's get rid of my agent for a second. Sorry about that. As I was saying, this command block will be the one that blocks the path of our minecart. So I'm going to click on the command block, and you get a menu like this. It's quite busy. There's a couple of things to look at. The first thing, up here in the top left, we've got this box called Hover Note. This is basically where you can put the name of your command block. A little message to yourself to remind you what the command block is doing. So this is going to be my command block that blocks the front of the minecart. So I'm going to say blocks front. And that will remind me of what it does. And if I close this menu, whenever I hover my cursor over the command block, it tells me its name. So this one is blocks front.
Kind of like commenting.
Yeah, it's quite nice that. It's great if you want, a little tag above your house or door that says so and so's house. Just a nice little hovery bit there. I'm going to click back on this, and what we're going to do here is we're going to recreate our fill command. This is the command that was going to block the front of the minecart. Place a block instead of the rail. So if you remember, I'm going to click this plus to make this a little bit larger so that it's easier to see. The command we used was /fill. What came next was the bottom corner, and this is where we put the coordinate of that bit of rail. 2675, 64, 355. Of course, that might be different on your world. So make sure you're using the right one, the one we wrote down earlier. We need to do the same thing again. Same 3 numbers again. So 2675, 64, 355. For 6 numbers in total. And next, we need to put in the name of the block we're going to use. So, mine was gold block. Okay. Gold block. So, once you've closed that down, we can test it with a minecart. Let's get a minecart. Minecart. Here we go. Let's set it off down the track. Oh dear. Something's gone wrong. And you may have spotted what what the mistake was that I made earlier. But it's good to sort of recognise how to spot errors. See, it worked perfectly for Dan, but it didn't work for me. Let's have a look at what went wrong. If you click on a command block, it's got this fantastic section here called Previous Output. And if there was any errors or mistakes in the command you wrote, that will appear down here. So here it says syntax error, unexpected gold block. Actually, it doesn't say gold block, it says GLD block. Oh dear, it looks like I misspelt the name of the block I wanted. So if you ever make a mistake, the error will appear in this section of the command block. So that's quite useful. It's told me that I made a spelling mistake. Let's go back and fix that. Let's make sure gold block is there instead of GLD block. Let's give that a go now. Let's see if that works. Hit the minecart. And there we are. It stops perfectly. And it just ends up there. Nice and finished. Essentially we've got the first part of our train station. Now, ideally, what we'd want to happen next is we want this block to disappear after we've had time to jump in the cart or time to fill the cart. And it would race off again as soon as that block disappears. But it doesn't. This is the problem I was saying about getting a minecart to start again. Even if you put powered rail underneath it. Let's try this experiment again with powered rail. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh, it goes backwards.
It does.
That's not what I wanted at all. Oh, it's like yeah, that's a bit of a mistake. So, that's not working either.
No.
Okay, let's go back a bit. Let's reverse our mistakes. So we're back to the 3 pieces of normal rail. Now, obviously, we want it to stop, and it gets stopped with the gold block. We also want it to start again. And to start, it needs some form of powered rail. The powered rail doesn't always start it automatically. It needs momentum as well as powered rail, but we'll do that one step at a time. It needs powered rail to get it started again. So let's put some powered rail here. I need to actually make that powered though, so how am I going to do that? Well, let's replace that pumpkin with a redstone block maybe. Then it'll always be powered. So we've got powered rail. But again, if we've got powered rail, and we run the experiment again, it does the bouncing back, which isn't good. So we need that powered rail, but we need it not to go backwards. So what happens if we were to replace the detector rail with a block? That'll stop the minecart from going backwards.
Hmm.
So yeah, let's write another fill command that will put a block there instead of the detector rail. Let me get the detector rail back there. This is what I have to deal with.
This is you brought this upon yourself by giving me the cake in the inventory.
I'm not even. I didn't even delete the cake. I ate the cake out of frustration. Oh, and there's another one. Oh, eat the cake. There we are. Yeah. So let's write another fill command to replace the detector rail with a block to block the back of the minecart. So again, I need to stand on the block I want to replace. So I'm standing in the place of the detector rail. I need to write down the coordinates. 2, 6, 7, 5, 64, 3, 5, 7. Remember that will be different on your worlds. It's no use putting in my coordinates because yeah, it's not going to be the same for your world. Okay, so I've written that down. 2, 6, 7, 5, 64, 3, 5, 7. With that in place, I can make another command block that will fill that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my command blocks again. I'm going to place one next to the first command block, but I need to make sure it points the same direction. So if I place it there, oh no, it's pointing towards it. That's wrong. Place it there. No, that's wrong. Place it there. Yeah, they are pointing both the same direction. That's correct.
This is very tricky to get, isn't it?
Yeah, you might need to actually position yourself differently.
Hmm.
Yeah, it also needs to be behind it.
Ah, that
That's
may
the one,
explain.
yeah. Try sideways rather than from the top.
Forwards. Oh, no, that's still not right.
If you go down a bit.
Oh, I see.
Out this way.
Oh, hello. We might be.
There you are.
There we are.
There you are. Yeah, back in my day, blocks didn't have direction in Minecraft. You didn't have logs. You didn't have you didn't have glazed terracotta. You know, every block had one direction and one direction alone. It's much easier. But anyway, once you've got them facing the same direction, we can do a little something interesting here. Now, there's a type of command block that lets you chain commands. So it lets you do one command after another, after another, after another, after another. You can do as many as you like. It's a bit like, sort of, imagine a redstone signal, but it only works with command blocks. And they have to be touching. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this one we've just placed, we're going to change that into a chain command block. And this means it will do a command after the first one. So I'm going to click that. Let's change the hover note as well. This, remember the hover note is the name of what it does, a little note to ourselves. This is going to block the back of the Minecraft. The Minecraft block. The back of the minecart. So, blocks back. Where it says block type, we've got this little drop-down menu. We've got impulse, chain, and repeat. We want to switch this to chain. And the chain one is the one we'll do a command after the command block that's pointing towards it has finished. So if I close that, oh, it's gone a lovely, lovely colour. What is that? Lime green?
I was going to say Turk. Oh wait, the block type's text is more of a green, but I'd say the block itself is a bit turquoise.
Well, I don't know whether to say mint or cucumber.
Oh, mint.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, now it's a chain command block. What that means is after our first command block, the orange block's front, after that one's finished doing its thing, this one will do its thing after a certain amount of delay. And you can actually change the delay, but that's optional. That's a little bit extra stuff. We're just going to leave it quite simple. In fact, you could probably get this. Design over here of the train station. You could make it a lot smaller if you used the delay option.
Right.
But I've not used the delay because I wanted to make it easier to demonstrate. So yeah, blocks back. And here we need to put in a fill command that will fill our second coordinate with whatever type of block. So remember, /fill. Here I have to write the second coordinate twice. 2, 6, 7, 5, 6, 4, 3, 5, 7, space 2, 6, 7, 5, 6, 4, 3, 5, 7. So 6 numbers in total, all with a space in between them. And finally, finishing it off with the name of the block I want to use. So gold underscore block for me. Or you could have emerald block, or you could have iron block, or you could have mushroom, anything you wanted. And we're going to close that. And there are some other settings here, but you shouldn't need to change them for this to work. So if I delete what we've got if I delete what's the block that was blocking it. Oh, too many blocks. Let's give it a test. So if this works...
I've had success here.
Yeah, it captures your minecart and holds it so it can't escape.
I've blocked it with a beehive.
Excellent. And now, with that in place, all we have to do is we have to undo it all in the right order. And what I mean by that is, well, if you delete the front block, do you see the minecart move? The minecart just tried to go.
Oh.
The reason why is the minecart was partially embedded in the back block.
Oh, yeah.
So when I deleted the front block, the back block pushes the minecart. The mine cart. It pushes the mine cart forwards. Yeah, so it kind of pushes it where we want it to go. So what we need to do, what we need here, is we need to somehow delete the front block and replace it with a rail incredibly quickly, which I just managed to do, and I don't know how I did that, but I managed to do it just then.
You did.
That was quite impressive. Very fast clicking there. So let me try that again. So what we need to do with a command block is we need to delete the front block and replace it with a rail. And onwards our thing goes. We can do that quite nicely by, instead of first deleting the block, then place the rail, we just place the rail. If we place the rail with a fill command, the fill command will automatically delete the gold block. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to make another command block. This time, this one will be, well, replacing the gold block with a rail. Over on my platform, I'm going to do it the other side. The reason why is I want a little bit of space to work with. So if I go over to my example one, over here, I've given myself some space to work with because I've got lots of repeaters in the way. And we use those to get the timing perfect rather than the delay option. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place them away.
Interestingly, my system has decided that it no longer wants to operate, so I am troubleshooting the problem. The cart no longer stops; it just carries on.
If you want a hint, maybe check what your rails are. I think you might have. I think you might have missed out a detector rail.
Oh, do you know what I did? I deleted it. Oh, I'm silly. I'm silly.
Well, you said it.
Yes.
But no, you're right. It's a very simple mistake to make. It's all the rails look the same, especially when they're on a surface of pumpkins.
Yes, that may have been a mistake.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a command block a little way from the others, but I'm going to get it facing the other direction. The only reason I'm doing this is so that our train station isn't too wide. I'm trying to make use of the space by having it kind of turn around in on itself.
Mm.
So I'm going to put the command block here, facing the opposite direction, because, well, that helps me as well, because what I'm doing is the opposite of what I did with these two. So with these two, first I placed the front block, then I placed the back block. Oh, it's so hard to speak at this time of night, day, evening, whatever. First I place the front block, then I place the back block. I need to do a reverse over here, so I need to place the front rail, then I need to place the back rail. So let's have this one. I'm gonna change the name to front rail. And here we're going to add in a fill command for placing a rail at the front. And this will be the first coordinate that we wrote down. So the first one, the position of the first gold block. So /fill. Coordinate 1, which was 2675, 64355. 2675 64355. Remember to get our full 6 numbers. Very inconvenient, but there we are. And I'm not going to I'm not going to put a gold block there. That would defeat the purpose. I want to replace it with rail. So I'm going to put in rail. And apparently the keyword for rail is rail, which is very imaginative.
Yes.
I bet it took them months to come up with that. So we're going to place rail at the position of the front block. This is front rail, places rail at the position of the front block. Okay, so when this is triggered, it will get rid of the gold block and bring back a lovely piece of rail.
Excellent.
Do we want to wire things up first? Yeah, let's wire things up now. Let's get things working so it actually does some replacement. Now, we can't... we need to somehow give this front rail block, this front rail command block, we need to give it a redstone signal. So what I could do is I could take the input from my detector rail and I could just bring it around and put it in the back, and surely that will work just fine. Well, a couple of problems with that. First problem is, by placing the redstone along the side, I've caused an issue where this redstone no longer goes into the front block command block. I need to think of better names for those. Yeah, the redstone no longer goes into block's front. So, we'll need to fix that. What can we do? We could use a repeater. Repeaters in Minecraft are just the bee's knees, in my opinion. They are brilliant. A repeater from the inventory, what they'll do is they sort of insulate two redstone connections. So if I place a repeater down there, the redstone goes into the command block and doesn't interfere with this one going along the side. These are now two separate wires. The other great thing about a repeater is if you click on them, they add a delay. So that's a short delay, that's a medium delay, that's a medium delay, that's a long delay. And if we add some more and give them all a delay, we could actually get a nice pause going along. And this will be great for us because what it means is that our minecart will be paused in the middle for a while, allowing you to get on or off or to drop items into the minecart before the front rail is activated and off it goes. So yeah, you can put some repeaters in there to increase the delay between stopping the minecart and letting it go. You could add as many as you like. You could have it wait there 10 minutes if you had enough repeaters. But for now, I'm going to keep it like that. I can add some more in later if I need to. Okay, that's the front rail. Actually, if I fix this up by putting back the detector rail and putting back the normal rail, we're able to test things, see how things go. I'm going to put my minecart in the way. Okay, it stops. Then it carries on. Let me reset that and show you again. We send the minecart down. It hits the detector plate. The repeaters do their work of delaying things. And then the front wheel releases it. Oh, that's come back. Hello. Goodbye.
Oh, there we go.
We've got a rogue minecart. There you are. Go away. Oh dear. Go away, go away, go away. Yeah, so we kind of got the start of that. Small problem though. There's now a gold block right in the middle of where we want to go. We need to replace this gold block with a detector rail. Trouble is, if I recreate the scenario where we've got a stopped minecart, the trouble here is, if I delete both these blocks at the same time, there's no telling which direction the minecart will go. Because the minecart will go whichever direction that the block is broken in first.
Right.
So if the block is broken on the right first, so let's break that and replace it with rail. If it's broken on the right first, the minecart will go right. If the if the block on the left is broken first, it will go left.
There it goes.
Yeah, so if we break both of these blocks at the same time, there's no telling which way it goes.
Mm.
Because we want it to carry on and to go right, what we need to do is we need to break this one first, then this one. So break that one first, and then once that's done, break this one and replace it with a detector rail.
Mm.
So we'll need another command block for that. If I were to put the command block for it right there and do the same as we did over here, that would make both blocks break at the same time. That would cause the issue. I need this to happen after. So what I'll do instead is I will add a little bit of a delay. Now you could do this with the delay option, but I can also do this with a repeater. I can add a repeater after this command block, and then have this command block. Remember to make sure it's facing the right direction. So you have an option. Either you can use the delay option or you can use a repeater between the two. But this one is going to be our back rail, because it's going to replace the rail at the back with a detector rail. And we need another fill command for this. This is going to be /fill. And this is the other coordinate that we wrote down, the second one. So 2675 64 357 2675 64 357. What a mouthful. And finally, we need to type in what block do we want there. Well, we want to replace it with a detector underscore rail. That's the key name for detector rails. Detector underscore rail. Okay.
I would like to give you a 2-minute warning, Jack.
Oh, we're nearly at the end.
We are nearly at the end.
Well, it's a good job because we're nearly at the end of what we're doing.
Oh, there we are.
Okay. So we can put down a minecart and give this a test. So it hits the detector rail, gets stopped by the blocks. Let's see that again. Maybe actually watch it this time. The repeaters go off, then it turns off the first block, turns off the second block. One last time. Oh dear, chaos has happened.
Oh no.
Anyway, let's send the cart along. Gets blocked. First block disappears. Second block disappears. And restores it with a rail and a detector. What's it wordy? Oh, my words today. I'm not doing too great on those, am I? I'm speaking my own language. Okay. So we've just got one more minute to go before I launch into the admin. I want to show you a cool feature. If we were to block the signal from, if we were to block the signal from the detector rail by maybe putting a block there, what it means is our minecart will bypass the station completely, because the detector rail never activates any of the command blocks. So yeah, here our minecart comes back. It doesn't get stopped. So with that knowledge, we can use a command block to either place a block here to block the signal from the detector rail, or put redstone there, which will allow the signal to carry on. And we can use that to make an interesting little thing where we could, say, stop at station A, stop at station B, so on. So you could have a one here that will do a fill command with the coordinates of the bit of redstone that carries the signal from the detector rail. If you were to grab these coordinates, get a command block at your home base to fill those coordinates with a block, and then hop in your minecart that's miles away from the station. When you do get to the station, you can either bypass it or get stopped by it, which is a cool little extra. Another little extra is with a careful placement of blocks and redstone, you could add a dispenser. This one dispenses emeralds, just hovering over the middle where the minecart stops. And if you use a minecart with a hopper, as the minecart goes by, emerald dispenses into it. I don't know why you didn't see that, but it definitely came out because if I look in the minecart, the emerald's there. Anyway, I hope that's proved useful. You could do all sorts of this. You can make a train station. You can make a complex delivery network. You could even make a vending machine if you stack a lot of these up high and have multiple stations per row. You can have all sorts of fun with it. I'm going to stand over here where it's pretty, whilst I do the admin. Here, look at the pretty sky. And switch over to this screen. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed. I hope that's been informative. Thank you, Dan, for giving me a hand.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Jack.
Just as a big reminder, next week we will be switching to Thursdays. So no Technolive on Tuesday. Instead, there'll be a Technolive on a Thursday. And Dan will be doing green fruit for that.
Green fruit?
Green fruit? Game fruit. What? Green fruit's just kiwis, aren't they?
I think, yes.
I was
green foot.
I was getting confused between Greenfoot, which is programming a piece of software, and Game Fruit, which is another programming piece of software. Anyway, Dan is doing Game Fruit over on Thursday. That is next week. Stick around then. That will be at 4:30. In any case, I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you have a very wonderful week. And from us at Technocamps, have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.
Take care, everyone.